All right, grab a seat. And now we're recording.
Sheet, we are recording, mister.
I feel a little hot.
Really? Maybe you need some more money.
I find, maybe I do. I find the 50s, they're the ones that, like, they give me the best wind.
Yeah?
I feel like the 100s are just flexing. They're showing
You know
off.
what gives me the best wind?
Go ahead, beans.
Cabbage.
Yeah, you're going that way. I'm just saying, the 100s are flexing, the 50s. So listen, man, I'm a little hot, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm a little hot. My eye feels a little bit itchy, okay? I'm not joking.
Yeah?
And I'm thinking, like, maybe I'm getting pink eye.
Probably.
Right? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, how the heck would I get pink eye? And then I remember I got the president of Pink Eye across from me here every day, bringing new pink eye to the office, asking me to wear an eye patch. What is going on?
I don't know. It's just this January.
Yeah, this
January. I want to say I know what it is, but I can't say it on YouTube because we'll get banned.
Yeah, whatever you do in your home, like, is on you, man. But what the hell is with the pink eye? It's nonstop pink eye with you. Okay, so I wanted to share Alice Cooper's story, and there's various versions of the story. There's your angle of it.
Yes.
Like, going to Hawaii, and we'll get that too. But I think people want to know, like, what it is that got us to land Alice Cooper as a brand ambassador. Mm-hmm. And that's, and if you're an older gent, that's a big name. Like, Alice is like Alice Cooper. Mm-hmm. If you're 20, you're like, who's Alice Cooper? Google it. Well, the story starts with a guy named Clarence. Did you ever meet Clarence?
I met Clarence, and he's been messaging me once a week now.
Yeah. So when you meet Clarence, you get that. Hi, Clarence. Anyways, Clarence has a unique skill about him, man. So if anybody doesn't know, Clarence handles our PR. He's like a mercenary. Mm-hmm. And what he does is he gets us celebrities. Now, how he gets celebrities, that's a whole other story. So basically, he's very persistent, like obsessively persistent. He will not give up. So if Clarence decides that you need to be wearing LGFG suits, like you're a celebrity, and Clarence is like, hey, this celebrity should wear LGFG suits, you as a celebrity are getting a message from Clarence every day. So is your wife, so are your kids, so are your parents, so is everybody you've ever known in your life. I mean, there are people that are like, dude, Clarence is messaging me about a guy I went to high school with 42 years ago. It's just nonstop, like persistent, right? And that's like his modus operato. He writes love letters to celebrities fervently and nonstop.
Okay.
Right? Just completely like unstoppable force of nature, Clarence.
Did he study that, or where did you find him?
No, I think he's got OCD.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Clarence, fill me in. But anyways, so Clarence, like, we've been, collaborating for a while. He's done a great work, man. He got us a lot of very cool celebrities. And I get a message, from Clarence. He's like, I think I got us Alice Cooper. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm going to set up a call with Alice Cooper and his manager. And we're going to tell him about what we do and how we can dress Alice Cooper. And I'm like, cool. And I said, Clarence, I only have one request of you. Don't nerd out on this call. Don't fawn over Alice Cooper. Don't go on a long tirade about how much you love Alice Cooper and how you owe your entire livelihood to Alice Cooper. Like, don't do that. We don't need any Shakespearean monologues while on this call to embarrass everybody on the call. And guess what happened on the call?
I can guess, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, and we've had that conversation multiple times, and you're guilty of this too, Henry.
Correct, I am.
Now tell us how you're guilty of this, because I remember Jordan Peterson, when we delivered that jacket. What did I tell you right before we went to see Jordan Peterson?
Don't geek out.
And what did you do?
I approached him in his underwear, asked him if I could mic him up and film him.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was before you said hello. I'm like...
That was before I said hello,
Like, we're in the car outside in Antwerp, Belgium, and I'm like, guys, we're going to go in, deliver the suit. It's the first suit we're going to deliver. And I'm like, Henry, like, don't engage. We're not going to be filming today. Like, you're with me because you're with me anyways, but like, we just need to deliver the suit. You're like, no problem, man. We open the door. He's in a robe and his underwear. And you're like, can I film you? First,
honestly, like, I froze for a second
and he's
there.
Just like, what? And he's just like, what's happening? And I'm like, don't, just ignore that. Anyways, so people do have a tendency to do that with celebrities sometimes.
Yeah.
So we get on this call, and I'm like, hey, Alice. And Shep Gordon is on it. It's Alice's manager. Really wonderful guy. I'll tell you a story about him too. And of course, Clarence unmutes his microphone. I'm like, oh no, gloom is like fucking coming over my face. I'm like, no. He's like, I just want to tell you, man, I love you, and you're the greatest, and your music has been so impactful to me. I'm like, it's done. And also the reason I learned guitar is because I'm like, okay. And you see everybody, there's like Shep, there's Alice Cooper, there's some other manager on the call. I think it was Toby Mamer, like another tour manager of Alice's, me and Clarence. And after about 15 seconds, Clarence runs out of breath. And I mute him and I'm like, all right, now that we got the fanboying out of the way, let's get down to business. And pressure relieved. So we saved that. So anyways, and by the way, I'm saying Clarence does great work. He just really loves what he does. Just gets really into it. Fine. So now we're scheduling to go out to see Alice Cooper in Hawaii, and I need a videographer. And who do I contact? He wasn't available. So I got Henry.
Oh.
Nah, I'm kidding. I want Henry. And here's why. Because I worked with you a couple times before, and I really wanted you on this project, right? I have another guy. Shout out to Indrik. Indrik is great. He does incredible videography work. But he's weird. And he knows he's weird. And to highlight this, like I remember I took Indrik to a video shoot with Kevin Sorbo. And me and my wife and him were having dinner because I took my wife with me for the trip. And we're eating like whatever we ordered. And like I'm eating off my plate. My wife's eating off her plate. Indrik's eating off his plate. And then my plate. And then my wife's plate. Without like asking or saying anything, just like starts reaching and eating food off our plates. We're like, what the hell's going on, man? Anyways, so I'm like, I think for this one, I think I'll take Henry. And I would have taken Indrik. He's actually a good rock and roll guy. He knows his rocks. Anyways, call you up. Let's go to Hawaii. And so here's my story of that. Before Hawaii, I think we had the shoot on January 6th. I think that was the date with Alice Cooper. It was like 6th or 8th. But yeah, it was January, maybe 8th. But like January like 2 through 4, we have our company meeting in Ukraine. Now, this is the year before the war. This is 2022. I think the war started 23 or 22. Maybe it's 2021.
Yeah.
It's 2021. Yes, 2021. And we're in Ukraine. And this is Corona time. And Alice's manager is like, hey, man, just remember, Alice is like 74 years old at the time. So you can't have Corona. When you get in, you have to isolate. You have to test. Like, you give me a whole procedure. I'm like, no problem. But I go to this company meeting in Ukraine. And were you at this meeting in Ukraine?
No.
You weren't. And that's why nobody got pink eye.
Yeah.
But
that one time.
But everybody got Corona. I'm not joking. Like literally we had a meeting and there was a picture of a room and we're like going by the picture. Every single person the next day is positive for Corona. And I'm flying from Kiev to Munich to Hawaii.
You didn't have Corona.
Well, so this is the story.
Right.
I can't have Corona because I can't shoot if I have Corona. And so I land in Hawaii and I'm not feeling sick or anything, but I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat. And I'm like, crap, if I've got the Ronies, then I can't go see Alice Cooper. And I told Shep, like transparently, I'm going to test every day. And I don't want to kill Alice Cooper. I love Alice Cooper. I don't want to be the reason, you know? And so I'm testing. The moment I land, I test. The next day I test. The next morning I test. For 4 days, I'm isolating in Hawaii and I'm testing. You guys are going out surfing. I'm isolating. I'm like, I want to make this thing work. But here's the thing. I'm filming every time I test. So I'm being transparent, man. Like I got the camera and I'm sticking this thing so far up my nose that, you know, if something happens, I'm like, it wasn't me. Here's my negative tests. It's filmed. And I went deep, man. Like I went all the way up to my brain. I'm like, I'm making sure that I'm clean. So I have 4 days of footage of swabbing myself on my phone. And then the fourth day comes and I message, it's 6 a.m. I message Shep. I'm like, hey man, I'm negative, blah, blah, blah. I got all the videos if you want. He's like, nah, that's cool. And he messaged me a minute later. Yeah, come down for a coffee at 7 a.m. I'm like, okay. So I got an hour to get there. He's 5 minutes away. So I'm 40 minutes early, obviously. I'm like, I'm going to meet Jeff Gordon, Alice Cooper. Pull up to the house, realize I'm 40 minutes early. Like, well, this is creepy. So I'm just going to go wait at the end of the street here in my car for half an hour. Like a kid on a first date. Yeah, cool. So did that. Get to the house. Very cool. Shep's there. There's our boxes were shipped there. So they're waiting with Alice Cooper stuff inside. And I'm like, I'm going to try to fit in with Shep Gordon. And I read his book and everything. And Shep was like, he was a rock star manager in the 80s. So his book is yeah, we were doing drugs and chicks and the life was this and going to Cannes Film Festival and dating models, going to Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion. He's got some stories, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm going to be cool. So we sit down with Shep and outside there's this little bowl and there's some remnants of, marijuana. Now I'm not a drugs guy. I've never really done drugs. But I want to fit in, And I probably, tried weed once in high school. It was not my thing. Just not my, it's fine. I have friends that were total potheads, not me. Fine. whatever. I don't care. But I see some. I'm like, hey, well, since you got some, maybe we should light up. I'm trying. and I think he smells that I'm a narc. And he's like, no, I don't want to start with that stuff. That'll kill you. I was like, cool. Thumbs up. So that's how we got, and anyways, obviously connected. Then Alice, so we're talking for like 2 hours with Shep, and he's telling me some cool stuff and some interesting examples of like success. Like I want to pick his brain. He knows a lot of people. So I'm asking about some things, like what's Mick Jagger like? Is he a genius or whatever? Like this kind of stuff, And then Alice Cooper pulls up at about noon. He had just gone golfing. And Alice Cooper pulls up in a Hyundai. Mm-hmm. It's like a blue Hyundai.
White?
Was it white or blue?
It was white. Yeah.
It was white, maybe. It was just like a grandma car.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was so funny because you don't expect, if you imagine a traffic light, you look over and there's like this little white Hyundai and looking back is like freaking Alice Cooper. You're like, what? No, that can't be right. Hallucinating, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told him, like, I did not expect to see Alice Cooper driving the Hyundai. He's like, it's the best car I can rent here. There's nothing here. Right? 2 days later, I saw Jeff Bezos drive by in a Maserati.
Yeah.
Because he was visiting the house. And he rented a different car. Or he flew one in on his own. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Shep's like, yeah, man, I'm a little tired. We were here late last night. It was me and Bezos and Leo. And like, Leo, yeah. It was like quite the crew that stopped in, Now he gets me. And Alice Cooper pulls up, and so we chat, blah, blah. And that, and that was it. That's how we got Alice Cooper. We had a good conversation. We laughed a little bit, and etc. Now, from your side of the story, how did it all go down?
I mean, the first 4 days, I did not swab at all. I just basked in the sunlight, ate some ice cream with my kid and my wife. Went on a little road trip, and when the time came, I think I picked you up from your hotel. And we drove over to Shep's house, and the same thing happened. Like, I was not expecting Alice Cooper to show up in a white Hyundai. Like, I was thinking, okay, he comes here to play golf. Maybe he'll show up in a golf cart because that's like part of the course, right? But no, it was a white Hyundai. I was like, okay, grandpa style, nice.
Now, something else happened that morning. Talk about solving problems. We actually had booked a second video guy.
Yes.
To come and film with us.
Yes.
And so I think we were filming at 11 a.m.
Something like that, yeah. Before noon, yeah.
And it was 10 a.m. and the guy didn't show up.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
I found a different guy that lived across the town.
So why didn't I show up?
I don't know. I never heard from him.
Yeah, like the guy we booked was supposed to meet us. He doesn't show up, doesn't answer his phone, nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, I even mentioned the name Alice Cooper, Shep Gordon, everything. Didn't ring a bell. It didn't ring a bell on the other guy as well until he got there and realized I was talking about Alice Cooper.
Yeah, but then the other guy actually knew Shep. He's like, Shep, what's up? I'm like, dude, how did you not get it? It's like, I know Shep. I've known him for years. They're like friends. They're like, what?
Yeah, they live on the same island, so I guess they know each other. I don't know.
Yeah, but this guy, so just imagine you have this filming and it's like this biggest thing that we've done to that date, and the freaking video guy just ghosts us.
Yeah.
So we have to like immediately start calling every agency we can who can get down here to this island to film with Alice Cooper right now.
Yeah.
And so
it
this
worked
guy,
out.
Yeah. We had to rent a camera and everything for ourselves.
We had to rent a camera, and the camera only came with a guy, so a camera guy. And then I think we went for a different store to rent a green screen for the photos.
Yeah. And that guy was stoned. I remember
that guy was stoned.
That guy was like, yeah, we'd like a green screen. He's like, cool. It's like, yes, you're the guy that works here. Can you get it? He's like, yeah, I am the guy that works here. Like,
hey, do I work here?
And then he's just like so confused, and we're both like, oh, and it smells like weed. We're like, this guy is so stoned. It's like,
he reminded me of the guy from that '70s show.
Yes.
Remember that one? Like the old guy there who's always stoned.
Cheech, yeah.
Yeah, he reminded me of that guy.
That guy was so stoned. I just remember like. I'm like, this is the part where you get the green screen and we give you money. He's like, cool. He's just staring at us like this is, and then we realize like, oh, this guy's just, it's 10 in the morning, dude, on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And you're just standing in a store alone. Like nobody comes and rents camera equipment. Ever.
Island life, maybe. I don't know.
So what does he do? He just sits there and gets stoned by himself.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like unhappy to see us, but I wouldn't say he was happy. He was just confused. Like, is this a dream? Is this real?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
So we did that anyways. Yeah. And what are some things that stood out to you about working with Alice Cooper or being in that house? Anything that piqued your interest?
I was definitely surprised to meet somebody that's actually a human being. Because Alice Cooper, you think you're going to idolize him. He's going to be bigger than life, whatever. But then you meet him and he's like a normal dude. He's just wearing makeup, and he's super famous apparently. But he acts and talks and makes jokes just like everybody else, and he's very, very welcoming and warm, talking to you. Like you don't feel like you're beneath him in any way, which was definitely a surprise to me. Like I was expecting more of a diva attitude.
Yeah, zero of that.
Zero, yeah.
Zero, yeah.
Yeah, completely humble, yeah.
And he was like giving us ideas on things to try on, take this photo, and we're like, dude, we're tired. And he's like double, triple our age. And he's just like, yeah, let's just do more. We're like, dude, we've been here for 3 hours. We're tired, Alice.
And he just wanted to share his stories of like his heyday and like how they made some records. Talk about the linings that went in there, the ideas, all those. Great, yeah.
I think in a lot of ways, you know, he's still in a hate. Like he's still touring all the time.
Yeah, he is.
Non-stop.
He is,
He's 75, 76 now. He's just non-stop
touring.
I
mean, we saw him and he said he's got 2 albums coming out in the next 2 years.
Like 26th album coming out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Then he's like, then I got to tour Johnny Depp. And then he's like, then I'm back on the road with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude, this guy's busy.
Yeah.
So anyways, and his wife was there and she was very nice.
Yeah.
And she was very kind to us. And I remember, I'll close on this. I remember when we finished the photo shoot, we spent about 4 hours, like just hanging.
Something like that, yeah.
And you know, this is Shep Gordon's house, and everything in the house is part of history. Like there's signed Beatles memorabilia. There's like a basketball signed by Pat Riley, who's like a good friend of his. Like there's like pictures of him with like the Dalai Lama. They're very good friends. They traveled together. He was cooking for Dalai Lama for like on a travel tour and stuff. So it was like a lot of incredible memorabilia, just history in the house, just full of history, right? Like just pop culture history. And then when we finished, Alice signed an album for us, and his wife she just stopped. Cheryl stopped, looked at us before they left. She's like, "Hey," and looked me right in the eye. She's like, "I hope this really helps your business." And she meant it. Like I was like, "Wow, she really means it."
Yeah.
And that was the Alice Cooper part of the Alice Cooper story.
Yeah.
Cool.